I used to put a lot of pressure on myself, and I still do. I want everything to be perfect all of the time. I always just strive for that. I don't like to fail, although I don't think anybody really does. And all of that has kind of come together to where we're at now. Before I graduated for college, I posted one last real vlog video. It's really weird to think about how I'm graduating. I started this YouTube channel right before I entered my freshman year, and I've done YouTube for 4 years, and maybe not super consistently all the time, but I don't know what to make. But if I know one thing, it's that I do not want to stop creating. I never want to stop creating. I think the important thing is I'll always come back. It was very wordy. Basically, I said that I didn't know what I was going to do in the future, but at the end of the day, I was pretty sure that I was going to keep making YouTube videos because it is something that I always enjoyed doing. But if you have been on my channel before, or if you click some buttons and go look at my video archives, you could see that I did not do that. I did post a few other videos past that, but realistically it petered off into just kind of dead silence. After I graduated college, I burnt out pretty badly. Getting an art degree, I feel like you're just bound to do it. I burnt out of drawing, I burnt out of YouTube, I burned out of probably writing too, honestly. And I was definitely going through the concept of failure. My whole life I'd basically been striving to follow the basic steps. You know, you graduate high school, you go to college, you graduate college, you get a really good job, and your life is gonna be great. And that is, you know, the childhood fairy tale that I feel like a lot of people grew up believing, and there's nothing wrong with striving for those things. It does happen to a lot of people, but I feel like on the flip side, it also doesn't happen for a lot of people. In my own case, I was able to get a job outside of college. It's not in a field that I thought I was going into, and you know, it did take some time to find one, which I feel like is even more like that these days than when I graduated. The job market is definitely more challenging today. But overall, I'm fairly happy with where I ended up, and I've been having, you know, a good time lately. I feel like your 20s is often filled with just struggling. It's almost like you're starting over because you're usually on your own, or you're striving to be on your own. You are navigating a new world that you did not previously have access to, and yeah, just overall, you're just learning a lot, and you're failing a lot, and you're just climbing for whatever it is that you want to do, right? I turned 30 in December. It is currently February 2nd, and a lot of people are always like, oh, 30s, oh, that's scary, you know, you turn 30, your life's already over, right? But it's very stupid to think that way, in my opinion, although I understand where that sentiment comes from. Realistically, I feel a lot more secure in my life now than I did, you know, at the beginning of my 20s, certainly, and definitely also since graduating from college. I have a lot of great friends. I know more who I am. You know, there's a lot of identity that you have to discover when you're on your own and when you're living your actual adult life. And I think that's kind of beautiful, but I think it also takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. All of this fluff is really just saying that I want to strive to fail more, because it was something I was always scared to do. Nobody likes failing, but I feel like failure is a very important thing on your journey to success. And, you know, it's been drawing bad drawings that has made me be able to draw good drawings. It's, you know, writing a bad story that makes you be able to write a good story. It's creating bad YouTube videos in order to create better YouTube videos. You can compare that to whatever you're passionate about in your life, but these are things that I enjoy doing and things that I've realized that failure is actually very important. If you never try anything, if you never focus on learning things, you will just simply never get better, right? And this was something that I've always kind of struggled with, this concept of being perfect the very first time with absolutely no failure and no effort required. And I was definitely shaken to my core when that was just not how things work. You know, you have to fail in order to get better. And I think it's only a mentality that you can really only realize when you realize it. And no matter how much you don't know until you know. I wanted to make this video not to just come on here and say a bunch of words to a camera, which is kind of what I feel like I'm doing right now, but to kind of push myself into that uncomfortability of creating again, creating in a public space sort of way. I felt that I could not move on and start creating content again until I sat down and made a video about where I've been, what I've been up to, my life, all of this. And realistically, I understand that it doesn't matter, but at the same time, I have always viewed my YouTube channel as a bit of a, not necessarily a diary, but if I look back at my videos, which I did before filming, I was sort of recording bits and pieces here and there. I didn't know what I was doing when I made my channel. I just wanted to make a channel. Realistically, looking back, I wanted to, you know, get the views, get the numbers, get the money so that I would have a job, you know? I wanted to feel that sort of stability, I guess, that comes with the concept of having a 1 million subscriber channel, at least back in 2014. Things are a lot different nowadays. But I didn't come back to YouTube in order to get subscribers, get that YouTube cash, get those views. I'm not here for that. I'm here because there's some ideas that I wanted to put out there, and I just no longer care about putting ultimate levels of stress on what is essentially a hobby. And I don't necessarily mind if I am posting into the void anymore. Everybody, you know, always claims they're not here for the numbers, but I feel like I definitely was when I started my channel in 2014, and I feel like I just really don't care anymore. I've debated several times if it's even worth making videos in the current scope of the world, but I just feel like there's still a beauty in creating and making stuff and, you know, just having fun, you know? Is there such a thing as too much fun to be had? I mean, maybe. I'm sure this video is going to be messy. It's going to be really annoying to edit, I'm sure. But it's just a video I need to make in order to come back and create the content that I actually want to make. So the long and the short of it is I graduated, right? I got an internship type thing, and that was all fine and good. And then I was able to get a job after that, and that's kind of where I've been. But I also was kind of struggling on the opposite end. Yes, I had art school burnout for sure, and it did take me, I would say, maybe 3 years to kind of get out of the art school burnout. Not everything that I was dealing with at the time was all related to burnout. What ended up happening, I've been dealing with this kind of crushing tiredness since I was probably like 18 or 19. Thought it could be several different things, but ultimately gave up trying to find an answer. And I'm only sharing this because I feel like, looking back at my content, I was like, yeah, it's clear I was starting to lose energy even back then, but it was really the past few years I really was like, hey, this is a serious problem. Like, I'm coming home from work and I'm just going straight to the couch and lying down. This was my era of scrolling on like TikTok and Twitter for hours and hours, not because I was enjoying the content and not just because I was addicted to the doom scroll, but also because I simply had no energy to do anything else. The energy just depleted really quickly, but also over a fairly long course of time, and I found out that I actually had an iron deficiency, and it's been about a year since I've been trying to, fix that with supplementing stuff and doctor's notes and stuff like that, and it was really annoying to figure out about this in the first place, but now that we're a year deep into actually fixing the problem, I feel a lot better. I feel like so much more like a person. I feel like I'm ready to live my life. And even though I was able to keep up with like some hobbies, it was so hard to find energy to do anything. But definitely glad that that is mostly fixed. And so here we are, staring down the barrel of my camera again for the first time in a while. And although I know I did post that Dan and Phil Terrible Influence Tour video, I knew that that was kind of a test to see if I still enjoyed filming, editing, uploading, and I must have enjoyed it enough to consider doing it again. What I failed to do when I first started my channel was grab a niche, was number one, and number two was being super authentic. I didn't understand where the line of authenticity and the line of, keeping your personal life where you want it. I didn't know where the differences were for these lines, so I erred on the side of just being really boring. Like, I can't say it any other way. I was simply just really boring. I rewatched pretty much all of my videos before filming this, with a few exceptions, and yeah, they weren't the best videos. Some of them were still good. There are some videos that I still enjoy that I made, but ultimately I was missing out on a piece of authenticity, but it's also because I didn't know who I was. I made this YouTube channel about like 6 months after I became 18, and I'm sorry, but at 18, I didn't know who I was then. I'm thinking back to that person and it just feels like a whole different me. There's stuff that I just nowadays think of like universal truths about myself, and then I watch a video from when I was 18, 19, and I'm just different. I didn't know who I was. So I can definitely say that the videos that I'm going to make are going to have authenticity, because I'm not going to make them if I don't care. I'm not going to make them if I don't think it's going to be a good video, and I'm not just going to make it to fit some arbitrary upload schedule. On the topic of niche, I definitely feel like I have a general idea of the niche direction that I'll be taking my channel, but as I've always been concerned about, I don't like boxing myself into just one thing, so I think I'm just going to keep it, as fresh as I can. If I have an idea about one thing one week, an idea about something the other, you'll get a variety of content. It would be easier to hone in on a niche now than when I was starting college and going through a lot and learning to live life. It's just two different eras. And that's also why I wanted to make this video. This video is kind of the divide between the college era, which was that like 2014 to 2018 stretch that was my original YouTube channel, into this new era, which I don't know what to call it other than new era, which is a boring name. I don't know if anything, I've said in this video makes any sense. I'm really going on, like, no scripts, like, there's nothing down here except my phone and a book. Like, this fully might not make any sense, and that is also fine. You can tell me in the comments how much little sense this makes, but this video was just for me. It was just for me to talk, me to get back into it, dipping a toe in, so to say. And if you are one of my old 1,000 subscribers and you get this notification and you're interested in clicking on the video, hi. Thank you for not unsubscribing to this dead channel after multiple years of not posting. If you want to unsubscribe now because you were here for, you know, I don't even know what you would have been here for exactly, but if you just don't feel like having this channel in your list anymore, I totally understand, because, you know, we're in a new era, new fresh era. If you want to stay and you want to give me a shot again, I have some funny ideas. I have some concepts that I'm excited to share with you. I mean, if you're not here from my channel, I don't know why you would be here for this particular video, but welcome. If you enjoyed me waffling, can't say I'll be doing a video exactly like this again in the future. I mean, I probably will, knowing my track record, but gonna try to do more entertaining videos. But if you want to give them a try, you are more than welcome to subscribe and join us. Welcome back to my channel. This has been MintApocalypse, and I hope to see you really soon.